calculating the amount of medication in a solution. So in this lesson we're going to be looking at using fractions to go ahead and do unit conversion as we typically do. So the question we could ask is, how much sodium bicarbonate is contained in 400 milliliters of a 3% IV solution. So to do this, we need to know what the 3% strength means. And the 3% corresponds to 3 grams per 100 milliliter. And that our goal is to determine how many grams of sodium bicarbonate that we have. So you'll notice we're starting out with a total of 400 milliliters of solution. And we want to convert that into grams. But what do we know? We have 3 grams of sodium bicarbonate. In 100 milliliters of solution. So we can see that once we go ahead and do our unit conversion, milliliters cancels milliliters. 400 divided by 100 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. Our solution would be 12 grams sodium bicarbonate. So in essence, all we're doing is we are using our unit conversion strategy to determine how many grams of the medication that we have. So it is our typical process that we use. So we can conclude by saying there are 12 grams of sodium bicarbonate in 400 milliliters of a 3% solution. Let's take a look at another question. This time we'll say, how many grams of sodium chloride are contained in 300 milliliters of a 0.8% saline solution. So first we have to translate this strength. So 0.8% means that we have 0.8 grams per 100 milliliters. And then our goal is to go ahead and convert this into grams of sodium chloride. So we're starting with 300 milliliters of solution. We're going to multiply that by the conversion that we just have. We want milliliters on the bottom. We want grams of sodium chloride on top. Of course, sodium chloride, NaCl, is salt. And we're saying that we have 0.8 grams per 100 milliliters. So you'll notice the milliliters will cancel, and we are going to be left with grams of sodium chloride. 300 divided by 100 is 3, times 0.8 will give us 2.4 grams of sodium chloride. So let's go ahead and conclude this problem by saying there are 2.4 grams of sodium chloride in 300 milliliters of a 0.8% saline solution. For our next question, we'll ask, how many milliliters of solution strength 1 gram per 40 milliliters can be made from 0.4 grams of silver nitrate. So this time we're starting with grams and we want to convert to milliliters. So our problem begins with the 0.4 grams of silver nitrate. And what are they telling us? 1 gram corresponds to 40 milliliters. So we will put 1 gram of silver nitrate in the denominator, and that's going to correspond to 40 milliliters of solution. So you'll notice the silver nitrate goes away. You'll notice the grams goes away, and we're left with milliliters of solution. So how many milliliters of solution do we have? We have 40 times 0.4, which is, of course, 16 milliliters of solution. So to conclude that, we could say we can make 16 milliliters of solution from 0.4 grams of silver nitrate in a solution strength of 1 gram per 40 milliliters. Next up, we'll ask how many grams of epinephrine solids are contained in 2.5 liters of a 1 to 1,000 epinephrine solution. What we need to know here is what 1 to 1,000 means. And that means 1 gram of medication. In this case, it would be 1 gram of epinephrine per 1,000 milliliters. So you'll notice that we're starting with 2.5 liters. We want to convert that to grams of epinephrine. So beginning with 2.5 liters, we probably should convert that to milliliters since our ratio here is in terms of milliliters. So putting liters on the bottom, milliliters on the top, we know there are 1,000 milliliters for 1 liter. Now we can go ahead and make our conversion where we say that we have 1 gram of epinephrine per 1,000 milliliters. And you'll notice it's nice that the 1,000 milliliters goes away. And our result will be 2.5 liters goes away as well. 2.5 grams of epinephrine. So we should conclude that by saying we have 2.5 grams of epinephrine contained in 2.5 liters of a 1 to 1,000 epinephrine solution. And that will conclude this lesson.